Welcome to this explainer. We're diving straight into a weekend of massive, honestly unprecedented news that's basically rewriting the rules of the entire digital and gaming world. Seriously, we're looking at a total ground-up shift in how power operates across our tech ecosystem. To really wrap our heads around this shift, we've got to look at the wild power dynamic playing out right now between software and hardware. Think about it. Normally, the physical box you buy dictates the games you play, right? But what happens when a single piece of software becomes so culturally dominant that the massive hardware manufacturers actually start bending to its will? Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll hit Sony kneeling to GTA 6, the pre-order data war, the new AI open world, the hardware scalping epidemic, battling the digital underworld, and finally, the indie resilience. Kicking things off with Section 1, Sony kneels to GTA 6. You have to see the stark contrast in strategies here. On the left, we've got Sony's historical treatment of its absolute biggest multi-million-dollar exclusive titles, games like God of War Ragnarok or Spider-Man. They got standard store banners. That's just the status quo. But look over on the right, Grand Theft Auto 6, which is a third-party multi-platform game, has completely hijacked the PlayStation 5 ecosystem. You press the PS button and bam, you're hit with a full GTA 6 animated welcome screen, themed icons, embedded pre-order buttons, the whole shebang. It is a literal UI takeover for a game they don't even own. And it's not just the visuals either. Sony is totally breaking its own historical rules with their messaging. Get this. In a single official blog post, they use the word best 6 separate times just to drill home that GTA 6 belongs on PS5. Sony is heavily pushing the Rockstar brand because they know, without a shadow of a doubt, that this single piece of software is going to sell millions of consoles. They're treating it exactly like a system-defining exclusive. Which brings us to Section 2, the pre-order data war. Moving from marketing over to raw retail data, you can see exactly why Sony's aggressive strategy is working so brilliantly. Just look at this 86% to 14% split. I mean, let that sink in for a second. That is a staggering 6-to-1 pre-order dominance for the PlayStation 5 over the Xbox Series X and S. For every 7 copies pre-ordered, 6 are on PlayStation. That plays best on PS5 messaging, it's actively shaping consumer behavior, pretty much leaving Xbox in the dust when it comes to physical and digital pre-orders. So the real kicker here is that this demand is so overwhelming, major retailers like Best Buy and GameStop are already sounding the alarm about potential PlayStation 5 console shortages for the game's November 2026 launch. We could literally be looking at a repeat of the 2020 hardware crisis, and it's being driven entirely by one game. Meanwhile, Microsoft is playing a totally different long game. They're focusing on building up their Game Pass service and this whole post-hardware ecosystem, rather than fighting a pure console sales war that, right now, they are losing 6-to-1. All right, moving on to Section 3. Enter the AI open world. So why does this game command such insane market power? Why are people already scrambling to secure consoles? Well, a massive Amazon Brazil leak just handed us the answer. To truly grasp the magnitude of this leak, we really need to understand what AI-powered NPCs means for the future of interactive entertainment. For decades, right, video game characters have essentially just walked in pre-programmed loops. But this leak suggests these non-playable characters are going to use complex artificial intelligence systems for independent decision-making. Basically, they're going to have unscripted, dynamic lives. These leaks show us exactly how this tech builds out the world of Vice City. We are looking at a living, breathing digital ecosystem. Picture this, an in-game TikTok-style social network where you follow virtual influencers. The NPCs around you, they might actually go to work, get into an argument at a cafe, or negotiate deals completely independently of whatever you're doing. Throw in the dual protagonists, Lucia and Jason, whose unique abilities dynamically alter this evolving criminal ecosystem, and it becomes pretty clear. This isn't just an action map anymore. It's basically a hyper-realistic urban life simulator. Let's shift gears for Section 4, the hardware scalping epidemic. We're pivoting from digital software to physical hardware now to look at the, parasitic economy trying to cash in on all this industry demand. $3,200. That absolutely absurd number is the price scalpers are currently charging on eBay for Valve's new Steam machine. Just keep in mind, the official manufacturer's suggested retail price maxes out at around $1,430. So yeah, that is a jaw-dropping 223% markup. But here is the genuinely shocking part. Official pre-orders haven't even really begun. Not a single physical product has shipped yet. These sellers are literally marketing the Valve Q confirmation email itself as a sellable asset. It just goes to show how bot-driven scalping has evolved from, opportunistic reselling into this highly organized, sophisticated industry that preys entirely on supply shortages and consumer desperation. So, to help you navigate this hardware hustle, here are 4 definitive steps you should follow to protect your wallet. First off, join the official Valve queue and just be patient. Second, wait for that initial supply frenzy to pass. Third, absolutely never ever accept prices above MSRP. And fourth, stick to reputable platforms like Best Buy or Amazon. Seriously, don't let the scalpers win. Which actually ties right into Section 5, battling the digital underworld. Because that organized digital exploitation we just saw with the hardware scalpers, it scales up perfectly to our most critical story today. Europol, working alongside global law enforcement agencies everywhere from Canada to the Netherlands, just seized $47 million in illicit cryptocurrency, all part of a massive, incredibly sophisticated sting operation. This bust targeted a terrifying corporate structure of digital crime that they call cybercrime as a service. Think of it like Amazon Web Services, but, for bad guys. Criminals can literally rent malware, access compromised networks, and, I can't even believe this, they even get customer tech support for their illegal activities. It treats malware deployment like a standard everyday subscription service, which really highlights just how sophisticated and deeply entrenched this digital underworld has become. Let's break down exactly how this specific malware targeted in this bust, it's called Sockghoulish, actually operates. It all starts with a fake browser update on a compromised website. You click it, and it silently installs in the background. Then, it actively scrapes your passwords, your banking details, and your crypto wallet keys. Finally, all that data gets monetized through illicit crypto channels. Seeing this funnel laid out like this proves exactly why things like two-factor authentication, password managers, and cold storage for your crypto are absolute necessities today. You really have to be proactive to protect your slice of the ecosystem. All right, let's zoom out for Section 6. The indie resilience. Let's just take a breath for a second here. Because despite the massive dominance of mega brands altering our console interfaces and cybercriminals running literal illicit cloud services, there is actually immense health in the gaming ecosystem. For instance, we just saw the announcement of Bancho Tactics Lionheart. It's this awesome indie tactical action game featuring Japanese delinquent school themes, and it's coming out across the board to PS5, Xbox Series, and the Switch 2. It's proof that independent developers, with their niche genres and totally unique themes, can still thrive right alongside those massive AAA blockbusters. The ecosystem is still expanding, it's not just consolidating. So, as we watch this entire digital ecosystem shift right before our eyes, from Sony bowing to Rockstar's massive gravity, to AI completely blurring the lines of reality, and law enforcement battling corporate-level cybercrime, it leaves us with one critical, provocative question to think about. When mega brands are dictating the interface, scalpers are gatekeeping the hardware, and criminals are targeting the infrastructure, who really controls your digital experience? Think about how you navigate this space. Thanks for joining me on this explainer today, and I'll catch you next time.